Right, we are so lucky to speak to legendary Irish Test player Geordan Murphy. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well indeed.
So I've just I've read a little bit about you, and one of the things came up. You got five brothers and sisters, and everyone played rugby.
They did. They all did. It was a big thing in our family. I'm the youngest of six kids. That's kind of how I ended up playing. The oldest guy, rugby wasn't very big in Ireland when he sort of started it. We were all Gaelic footballers as well, which is a sport I suppose you're not too accustomed to down there, but it's a little bit like Aussie rules.
Yeah.
So we started at that, and then my oldest brother found rugby and sort of just dragged the rest of us along to the rugby club, and it really went from there. One sister, unfortunately, she had to play a little bit as well.
Well, there you go. So rugby's in your blood. Let's look at Saturday. Ireland played Italy 26-3 in Italy. What do you guys make of that victory?
You know, the performance wasn't fantastic. I think Ireland are probably the people in Ireland are a little bit disappointed with the result. In saying that, I think it's a fantastic result. Italy are a huge banana skin. You know, they've beaten Wales, beaten Scotland there in the opening game of the Six Nations. They're a very physical side. You know, I think what they lack for in skill sets, they make up for in intensity and physicality. And I think Ireland should be very, very happy to be out of there with a result. You know, I think as well, Ireland probably went into the Six Nations as favourites, and that's, you know, probably a tag that never sits well with Irish teams. We're always very happy to be underdogs. So, you know, potentially taking a little bit of the heat off ourselves, and a huge game this weekend for us against France.
Yep, you're mentioning, you know, it's an away game. You guys are, you got three away games this time around. I mean, so it's quite important that you win those away games, like you say, by hook or by crook, and you know that's one down.
Yeah, very much so. I think these years are the years when we go three away games in Italy, Scotland, and Wales are always difficult years for us. You know, it's nice to get the French and the English at home in Dublin.
Yeah.
And in the past, when we've won those home games, it's you know we've always managed to trip up at some stage. I think the Welsh game this year and the Scottish game will be, you know, obviously difficult ones for us.
You've mentioned before, you guys have got, you've got that tag, the favorite guys to win this tournament. I mean, how difficult is that? What do you have to do different?
You know, it's not a lot different for us. It's obviously it's a very strange one. Being Irish, I think sort of, you know, we're sort of usually the plucky underdogs. I think Joe Schmidt's been fantastic for the rugby team. You know, he took over an aging Irish team, but what he's done is he's blooded a lot of young players, and he's created a lot of strength and depth, particularly in the forwards and in the back row. But you know, he seems to be a very smart guy, and you know, he's very well thought of over in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
So you know, I think for us, we just have to keep our heads, not get too far above ourselves, and just keep playing winning rugby. You know, Joe seems to put that in place. You know, he seems to analyse opposition teams very well, put a solid game plan in place, and I think, you know, it's just all about carrying out what he sort of wants us to do, and not trying to play a style of rugby that doesn't suit us.
Yes, and I want to touch on that again. Guys like Brian O'Driscoll retired. You guys came to South Africa last year for the tour, and everyone was talking about the possible lack of depth in the Irish side, and you guys just came out firing. The youngsters are playing such good rugby.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think, you know, he's obviously put in Robbie Henshaw in the centre. Robbie Henshaw a couple of years ago was a fullback, but you know, he's packed on a lot of size, and he had a really physical game in Italy on the weekend. It was quite impressive. He seems to be a very good young player, very, very talented. But he's handling the physicality of the centres easily. You know, Jared Payne as well, someone who I thought was a natural successor to Brian O'Driscoll, and he's been playing fantastic rugby up here in the Northern Hemisphere for Ulster. And those two guys are doing very well. You know, you've also got sort of older statesmen like Gordon Darcy and young, you know, gunslingers like Ian Madigan coming through the ranks. So there's quite a nice balance in the Irish. I think, you know, the forwards and particularly the back rows is an area that Ireland are strong in at the moment.
Listen, so thank you so much for chatting to us, and good luck at Leicester. I understand you're coaching over there, so have a great season, and thank you so much for chatting to us on SuperSport.
Cheers, mate. No problem. Anytime.